Hello everyone. I welcome all of you to the community. In this video, I am going to talk about the CUET verbal section and how can you proceed with your preparation for the same. So come, let's dive in. Number one, reading comprehension. So it's very important for you to understand the pattern of the paper at the back of your hand so that it's easy for you to know what exactly is coming and then you're mentally prepared to take it over. So how do you prepare for the reading comprehension section? There are these three things which really matter a lot. Number one, how widely you read. Number two, the context, if you're understanding the context of the passage, as well as the context of the questions. Number three, elimination technique. It's extremely important for you to know what the bad answers are, not only to find the right answer. So, how do you read widely? You have to make sure you're reading a lot of short stories, articles, essays, and from different genres so that, in case you're not interested in history and you start reading a historical passage, you don't get saturated because if you get saturated, your focus will dip and your accuracy will dip. So, your score will dip, which we do not want, right? So, get into the habit of reading short stories and essays and from different genres like history, like art, like literature, even current affairs or science, so that you don't get bored and you don't reach the level of saturation very fast. Number two, how does context matter? Well, it's important for you to understand the nuances of the language that is being used and understand the meaning. If you simply go by words, well, in CUET, there is a little bit of implication based questions as well. There are more of specific questions, like whatever is given in the passage explicitly, you can pick up the answer and place it. However, there are some questions like the main idea questions, primary purpose kind of questions, or tone type of questions for which it's very important for you to understand the context. Number three, elimination technique. So obviously eliminating the wrong answers is a great idea. Use different bases, like for example, recycle language. Recycle language is when the option has certain words from the passage. You might feel that yes, it's there in the passage, so this will be the right answer. But what you need to check is, does it answer your question? So match it with the question. See if that particular answer, if that particular option answers your question. If not, then it is recycle language and you can eliminate it. Then number two, there is another basis called the extreme language. So extreme language is when the passage talks about maybe some wars that have been fought in the past have created has led to creation of peace, but maybe in the option it's written all battles, all wars fought in the past. So all is an extreme word over here, but in the passage it was some, so you can eliminate it on that basis. Number three is no comparison. So for example, in the passage apples have been compared to apples, but in the option apples have been compared to oranges. You can eliminate it on no comparison basis. Similarly, option number four is outside knowledge. So if in the passage it is written black and white when mixed together gives me pink, that's what I'm supposed to believe. I'm not supposed to know that black and white mixed together gives me gray. That's when you use your outside knowledge. So make sure you're not using your outside knowledge and you are going by the author's point of view and whatever is given in the passage, which is why also it is important for you to understand the context. Moving on to the vocabulary part. Now, vocabulary is an inexhaustive part. So even if you prepared for 1,000 words, there is no guarantee that the 1,001st word will be from your preparation list. So even if that is the case, you still need to keep preparing. You need to categorize these words based on foreign language words, maybe based on arts, politics, science. So when it comes to politics, different types of government, what does demagogue means, what does anarchy mean. So you have to understand this from a different perspective. Number two is flashcards. So you can create digital flashcards on your phone or physical flashcards where you are playing with your friends and quiz yourselves. Have root words in that, have definitions, have synonyms, make sentences with these words. Number three is roots and prefixes. Now, I can't tell you how important this is and how underrated this tool is. So, even if it's a word like dis, which is a root word, any word that it precedes becomes a negative word. It has a negative connotation. Disdain, dismay, disappoint, disapprove. So, you know it has a negative connotation. Now, if you're looking for a word which has a positive connotation, at least you can eliminate it based on the root words. So make sure you are updating yourself with respect to the same. Number 4 is mnemonic devices. Mnemonic devices means memory tools, tools that will help you memorize the words better. So another thing that you can do is, make short forms or make sentences and associate it with people. So for example, if I say he's a bad egg, so I would associate it with maybe Gulshan Grover. He's always a bad man. So a person like a bad man in the family is like a bad egg. He spoils everyone around himself. So that is how you can come up with mnemonic devices and apply it in your verbal and written communication on a daily basis. In order to prepare for the grammar section, what you need to do is practice a lot of exercises. Now, it is available on a lot of online platforms. Then you move on to sentence structure analysis. So, what is the role of each word in a sentence? Which word is a noun? Which word is an adjective? Which word is a verb? Which word is a preposition? Which word is a pronoun? So, just deconstruct a sentence into different parts of speech of grammar. Once you learn how to identify the same, you will learn how to apply the same. And then questions like fill in the blank, sentence correction, all this will not be an issue at all. Number 3 is grammar games. So turn learning into a game. There are a lot of board games and a lot of online games which can help you with same. So download them, and instead of playing Candy Crush or PUBG, maybe move on to grammar related games for some time. Verbal reasoning. Now, when it comes to the CUET, verbal reasoning questions are simpler than it used to be in TISS and other entrance tests. But there are parajumbles, which is very important for you from this section. So, what you need to do is understand the different type of questions which will come in this section. Logical deductions, analogy, syllogism, and if you don't know about this completely, it will become difficult for you to go ahead. Parajumbles is extremely important too. Critical reading skills. So practice extracting the information from the passage and then identifying the main idea, because then that gives you the idea about how to arrange a particular paragraph, different sentences of a paragraph into a good chronological order, which makes logical sense too. Mind mapping. So for questions involving relationships or connections, create mental or written mind maps. It will help you imagine things better, and it will help you establish connection between different elements. When this happens, your accuracy will improve and you will also start having fun with verbal reasoning.